Hello there everybody, Sabana92 aka Nightmare, and last episode I said a bad word and my sensor desynced for some reason. I really should have checked the footage, but yeah, for those that caught it, I called Rusalka the C word, and I was going to put a sensor in it to make it funny, but the sensor desynced itself. I'm not entirely sure how the hell that happened. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the edited footage to see what went wrong. But yep, for those that caught it, I said a word that I'm not really comfortable saying. I said it in the heat of the moment and I got mad, and I deeply apologize for that. But the good news is Rusalka is dead, and I kind of have this feeling that maybe Sakurai is too, like, probably because of that curse, I think, that Rusalka put on her. I don't know. But the good news is we're back to freaking Wilhelm and Shiro. At the same time, two shadows clashed against each other in the school. The rendezvous between the man and the demon reached its climax the moment the challenger sprinted forward. Though Shiro closed the distance between them in a flash, Wilhelm outclassed him with violence at the speed of sound. His swinging fists were accurate and merciless, threatening to completely decimate the head of his opponent, but just a moment before Shiro's brain would have splattered like a pomegranate, a metal object interrupted their fight, exploding right in front of Wilhelm's eyes. A flashbang. The intense light was soon devoured by the demonic night, but that was enough time for Shiro to disappear from the vampire's vision. However, that was hardly enough to... Blocking one's line of sight meant nothing in the face of the scion of the night. Within his realm, he was sensitive enough to feel everything around him by his skin alone. Robbing him of vision was a wasted effort. Useless. Multiple stakes tore through the light, accurately locked onto their prey. Was that all? Was that the extent of his plan? Wilhelm launched his subsequent attack with disappointed contempt, but before his stakes could reach their target, they were swallowed by a wall of flames. An incendiary grenade set the corridor ablaze, filling it with the stench of combustion and snarls of deadly conflagration. Conflagration? Fuck. Shiro escaped certain death only because the gale caused by Wilhelm's incoming stakes blew the fires away from his position. But even if he could predict this kind of outcome, his strategy was still one of utter and complete madness. No shit, it's Shiro! He did not hesitate for a second before using an explosive from close range, not minding it could have very well blown himself to pieces. Even a demon of countless battlefields like Wilhelm could not help but pause momentarily in disbelief when faced with such seemingly reckless, yet for all manners and purposes, life-saving decisiveness. However, the fire could hardly stop the cruel stakes themselves, as they flew past Shiro, shredding his skin. It was only through his genius sixth sense that he managed to get out of this with mere flesh wounds. "'Tis but a scratch!" Yet the impact, as menial as it seemed, was enough to send him flying and crashing into the wall at the end of the corridor. Cracks ran through his bones and one of his legs was dislocated. To a mere human like Shiro, that was enough to more or less put him out of the match. And then... Wilhelm took the 5 bullets that Shiro fired just before the impact head-on, without even attempting to swat them. He stood there, exposing his body to the shower of lead, yet not even a scratch ended up on his skin. Crafty and effective, hopeless. The brat had guts and imagination, but of all things he chose the exact same trick for his final attack as the last time. Wilhelm could not help feeling let down by this development. The demon of the night took all attacks head-on in order to deny any naive ideas that he had possessed weak points, like some mortal scum. And that was what he was doing when he suddenly realized there was a scratch on his cheek. It hadn't been Shiro's bullets, rather it was something that he got as one of the brat's bullets hit a certain object and sent it flying at him. Shiro put his life on the line, and all he managed to achieve was a single scratch, yet from a logical perspective, such a thing should have been impossible, a most bizarre phenomenon. The vampire shrugged off all direct hits, even if they were equivalent to a collision with a truck, yet a simple piece of metal hurt him this time. In short, hitting him with the object was more effective than shooting him directly in the eyes or mouth.
Okay. 検証終了。お前さん、 やっぱ典型的な王道バンプか。吸血鬼の不分率どれもきっちり守ってくれて大助かりだぜ。最近はこう無敵でチャチなお手軽モンスターが流行りだからよ。
Oh.
熱烈信者はこういう時に助かる。
Whoa! Shiro Yusa stood up, spitting bloody saliva on the ground. Dude, that looks so fucking bad. Oh my god, it looks like even his necklace is smiling. In his hand was the same kind of object that he'd left a scratch on Wilhelm's cheek with earlier, a silver accessory shaped like a cross. Shiro had tested 3 things in exchange for intense pain and wounds: light, fire, and a silver cross. What they all had in common was obvious by this point.
この夜の空間内でかなりパワーアップしてるみたいじゃねえか。夜の化け物って言えば定番だろう。もしかしたらと試してみたらマジで効くとはな。
Nice. Vampires. If Wilhelm really was one of those right now, then Shiro's logic was solid. The young man had put his life on the line just to test it. You could pull all the conventional weapons in the world from your pocket and none would mean shit against someone imbued with sorcery. He'd known that from the start, of course. He'd known from the sheer pressure he'd felt in his skin before logic and reason could catch up. As such, he had to exploit his opponent's hang-ups instead. Those that claimed their place was on the battlefield usually possessed deranged and atypical philosophies. They saw the world through their own lenses, and as strange as that sounded, obsessed over the coherence of their twisted interpretation of reality even more than regular men. Shiro reflected on that as he triumphantly set his dislocated leg back in place. Oh, don't mind me. There we go.
というわけで、これで俺にも勝ちの目が見えてきたということならだ。
Shiro, you are insane but awesome. And an asshole. But awesome. Well, details mattered little at this point. Now that he'd come this far, there was no reason not to try it out.
さあ、2回戦の開始だぜ、吸血鬼。前半はちょっとポイント取られたが、まあ気にしねえよ。問題なし。
Holy fuck! That looks so goddamn badass!
なんせこれから俺様が楽勝で勝つんだからな。
He said something that sounded hardly more than a mad delusion. Yet it was no bluff. He really believed he could beat Wilhelm now. That sounded so goddamn realistic.
あんがとよ。なんならもっと楽しませてやるぜ。そうだな。今度はもっときついのを食らわしてやるよ。
Though he said that, he was out of options. The same trick probably wouldn't work on the monster twice. What was more, the last attack had left Shiro bleeding heavily out his left shoulder, meaning he couldn't move as he wanted. His right arm felt off too, after he'd used it to punch the bastard. Shiro calmly analyzed and perceived just how bad a state his damaged body was in. Judging from his experience, it was clear that defeat was all but certain. Again. Yet he felt neither exhalation nor fighting spirit, just pure disappointment. He clicked his tongue. Okay, you know what? He clicked his tongue in his mind. He'd end up overcome with this feeling every time he found himself in a truly life-threatening situation. It made him want to puke his guts out. Foreknowledge, 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 foreknowledge. Once he felt it, he knew he was invincible. Now there was no way for him to suffer defeat. Not to this bastard, nor to anyone else.
たまんねえな、おい。いいぜ、認めてやるよ。俺が間違ってた。いや、正しかったのよ。どっちでもいいな。どっちも同じだ。てめえの血はすする価値がある。てめえとはやり合う甲斐がある。事実だ。認めるぜ。
Yes, fuck already! The whole thing was hysterical beyond belief. I just heard a firework go out. Holy fuck, that scared me. The ivory demon couldn't stop the laughs welling up in him. When was the last time Prey had ever given him such fun? Or since he'd seen a human this bad at giving up? He'd had several foes in the past who possessed his standards of being worthy to devour, but the prey before him now far exceeded all of them. Wilhelm had never expected to meet a brat like this in such a complacent country. That was what made life interesting. He joyfully wished that this ecstasy would last forever.
どこまで付き合える？俺はどこまででも付き合うぜ。てめえの可能性をぶちまけろ。放っておいたらてめえがこれから生きるだろう可能性と命全部まとめて俺に叩き込んでくれよ。てめえが掴むはずだったもん全部に俺の手が届くようになるかもしれねえ。
Are you coming on to me?
よたってんじゃねえ。言ってることわけわかんなくなってんぜ。
そうだったそうだった。悪いな一人でさ。ただ俺には俺の手じゃ短すぎるんだ。だからずっと探してた。お前は合格か？
Maybe. He was clearly looking down on Shiro, and yet...
聞くなら意味がわかるように喋れよ。
じゃあこれならわかるだろう。
Wilhelm spread his hands out as though he were baring himself to Shiro. Fuck me! Whoa, God, I'm not really into that. No, thank you. He wasn't just leaving himself open and defenseless. If he closed those arms, that would mean Shiro's death warrant had been signed.
さあ。
Wilhelm smirked, showing off his fangs. Yes, his canines are most certainly larger than they were before.
さあ。次の手を見せてみろよ。
Wilhelm smirked and stood defenseless before the clearly incapacitated Shiro. But Shiro neither showed excitement, nor did he even try to raise his gun. He just furrowed his brow as he stared at the sneering vampire. 4. He had remembered this situation, and the fact the school's atmosphere would soon shift and change. Huh?
いいところで。
Wilhelm clicked his tongue at the unwelcome interruption. He lightly held his flank. The aching stigmata indicated that school's swastika had been opened. He could also tell Rusalka's presence had disappeared. That meant he no longer had any business in this place. He resentfully remembered his orders. Pull out as soon as the swastika is opened. The words spoken by Christoph Lohengrin, the divine vessel, compelled him.
残念だ。てめえとの決着はまたお流れだな。
God damn it! I keep getting cock blocked. I know, right? It keeps coming on at the weirdest times.
次はもっと楽しませろ。今回は時間がかかりすぎだ。会うたびにマシにはなってる。熟成しろ。そうでなくちゃ食い出が足らねえ。
Wilhelm turned around, but Shiro called out to his back before he could leave.
次は殺してやるよ。
Wilhelm snorted, remembering the words that had come from his very own mouth. That was his only response. The demon of the night vanished without a glance back. Though Shiro had been unable to see what Wilhelm's face looked like at that moment, he could easily picture it. The fierce and wicked grin of a beast. A smile that had come naturally to the monster's face as he pictured their next rematch. Shiro found his own lips curving into a smile when he pictured it.
次殺せっかな。
I'm kind of rooting for you, Shiro. Kay regained consciousness and faintly opened her eyes. Realizing she was lying on the ground, she slowly got up and checked her surroundings. Oh, shit, she's alive! The school had fallen silent, and Kane seemed to have returned to being a motionless statue. The pain of the curse wasn't as bad as when she'd passed out either.
Marius.
Kay closed her eyes and searched for Rusalka's presence, but could not detect even a trace of that unmaskable, depraved aura of hers. Rusalka was dead. No, she had killed her. The bitch wouldn't sully Kane's body any further. Now Kay truly possessed the qualifications to be a full-fledged member of the Obsidian Table. She had no regrets, yet she could feel an odd weight in her breast. She hadn't thought of the witch as a comrade. In fact, she hated her, but the idea that she had killed her seemed like it lacked reality to Kay. Well, whatever the case, her gamble had paid off. Kay approached the motionless Cain.
Kai.
Oh. She called his name and tried touching him. A mere corpse. Cain wasn't warm like a human. Without Lisa there to freeze his time, his body had begun to age, its decay having advanced considerably in the past few days. At this rate, it wouldn't be long before he started to fall apart.
待ってて。私が必ず助けるから。
Kay spoke to the mute Cain with a voice full of willpower, as though she was reconfirming her own intentions. Huh.
先輩。
Am I okay? Wait, do I still have her sword? Himuro was waiting for me, just where I asked. She looked pretty pale back then, but seemed a lot better now.
藤井君。綾瀬さん、無事に助けられたんだね。
More or less, but Rusalka really fucked her up a bit.
ええ。おかげさまでなんとか。
そう。
She looked relieved to hear that.
先輩、これからどうするつもりですか?
Himuro considered me with puzzled eyes.
俺たちと一緒に来てくれませんか?
Since Father Tarifa and Sister Lisa were our enemies, there was no way Himuro wasn't connected to this. But it didn't look like she held any hostility towards us. And I couldn't think of her as an enemy either.
ほら、先輩。
I held out my hand to her. I might have already been carrying Kasumi, but I could handle the weight of another girl all right.
言ったでしょ。俺にとって大事な人だって。
No matter Rei Himuro's secret identity or whatever she was still a part of my irreplaceable day-to-day life. I didn't want to lose or let her fade from my life. So,
さあ。
I was about to tap her on the shoulder when...
親愛なる白鳥よ。
Uh-oh.
この角笛とこの剣と指輪を彼に与えたまえ。
Ah, my beloved dearest swan, behold this horn, this sword, this ring, and bestow upon him all three.
No.
Something shining was approaching the two of us.
Senpai!
An explosion of golden light blinded me, and I felt Himuro separate from me, somewhere where neither my voice nor heart could reach her. It all happened in a flash, but...
嘘だろ。
Rei Himuro had completely vanished. Was that the golden beast or Fala Tarifa? As such, this was his victory. He who had risked the greatest gamble and overcome impossible odds had in the end proved victorious. For now...
大隊長お三方は封じられたことになる。
The battalion of three? Tarifa held the unconscious Rei in his arms, reveling in the joy of success. The release of the fifth swastika should have marked the advent of the three Obsidian Round Table's battalion commanders. But on the other condition, the Sonenkind's wish for death had been inverted just in the nick of time. Nothing would have been possible if the scales in Rei's mind hadn't shifted towards the desire to live. As such, he had to put his plan into motion today, even if it risked summoning the Gold's Imperial Guard. Wait. Nothing would have been possible if the scales in Rei's mind hadn't shifted towards this. So you're saying that if Rei... Oh. So if Rei wanted to die, that would have resulted in the three Obsidian Round Table's battalion commanders from being summoned. But since it says here that her mind shifted towards the desire to live, they're basically sealed. So basically, as long as Himuro is alive, the three battalion commanders won't be summoned. Basically, after the fifth swastika. Failure was not an option. He truly made it by a hair's breadth, by the skin of his teeth. He felt this had literally shaved a good portion of his lifespan, but...
勝ったのは私だ。
My God, look at that expression, dear God. Ugh. He had accomplished his goal.
そして救われたのはあなただ。
Horacia, now you will be saved. Rest in ease.
藤井さんのもとに行きたかったのでしょうし、できれば行かせてあげたかったが、それではどうにもならぬのですよ。誰にもハイドリ秘境は倒せない。
Therefore, this was the only way.
すべてを知れば怒りますか？私を憎みますか？憎むのでしょうね。
But he cared not. Fathers were probably that way by nature. Whether their children hated or shunned them, supporting their flesh and blood from the shadows and shouldering the burden was their job.
せめて彼が悪魔の煮えとならずに済んだ幸運を喜んでほしい。あなたに生きる意志を与え、呪わしき結界から解放される一助となった彼のことを。
Huh. I'm not even I kind of want to view this guy as a... This guy is clearly a villain, but... I mean... He... shit, man. Tarifa made a vow to deliver the young man to the highest of heights as a token of gratitude.
悪魔の城はこれで流出せずに済む。
At least for as long as the divine vessel still drew breath.
要は私が負けねばよいのだ。
The priest then muttered a Sikh hail like a prayer, making the sign of the cross as he did. What a clashing combination there. Bye! That's 3 down. 9 out of 13. Swastikas, 5 out of 8. Chapter 9, Mass Murderer. End. Well then. Oh. Kay placed her palm on her abdomen. She could no longer feel any pain there. However, she still could not shake off the phantom sensation of something being there. She recalled the now deceased Rusalka's words, that her own oath of honor and fealty were weak. Thinking back on her own actions, she had to agree on that part.
Yo, Leon.
A voice seeped out from the darkness that continued deep into the hallway. Wilhelm. Had he been waiting for her, or was he merely passing by?
マレウスがドジ踏んだらしいな。聞いてるか？
Maybe. What were Wilhelm's true intentions? For a moment, Kay's mind drew a blank, and Wilhelm took the reins of the conversation before she could open her mouth.
どうして？ショックかい？
別に殺し合いをしたなら殺されることもあるだろう。それだけのことでは？
まあなあ。けど首と胴体が泣き別れってのは違くねえか？魔女ってのは家系と相場が決まってんだろ。
Ah, the way of the Puritans. She had no... Wait. Maybe that's not historically correct. She had no clue what sort of reaction he was trying to provoke. Pagans? Kay tried to reply with the most indifferent tone she could muster.
首をはねるのはギロチンだ。彼と戦って負けたなら、それが当然の結末だろう。
ところがだ。マレウスは胴体の方にも風穴を開けられてた。刺し傷だ。
Uh-oh. That might be a bit of a problem.
ギロチンじゃ切っても刺せはしねえ。これってな、一体どういうからくりなんだろうな。
Oh my. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he probably knows. Maybe. Who knows?
私たちは死体を残さない。ベイ、つまらない嘘をつくな。
Damn it. Kay looked up harshly at Wilhelm, The two of them just stood there like statues for a while.
ご名答。今のは口から出任せだ。さすがに引っかかるほどのアマちゃんじゃねえか。謝るよ。
Oh.
嘘は良くなかったよな。勘弁してくれや。そう、仲間に嘘を吐くやつは最低だ。裏切りだもんな。そうは思わねえかい、レオン。
Kay's heart pounded wildly. Something cold spread through her chest. She wondered if he'd seen right through her.
何を言っているのかわからない。しかし私は別に気にしていない。お前のザレ言はいつものことだ。
いい加減おとぼけはよせよ、レオンちゃん。
By the way, I know you did it. Wilhelm grabbed Kay's wrist, squeezing it so hard it creaked. She felt pain run through her, down to her very bones.
お前はマレウスに呪われてた。よかったな、そいつが消えてよ。普通は死んだ方が強くなるもんらしいんだが、あいつは自分が死ぬことなんか考えねえ。そこは運が良かったってことだ。
Well, that's... I guess she did get lucky.
つまりあの坊主はまんまとお前に利用されたってわけだ。
3秒以内にこの手を離せ。マレウスの後を追いたくなければな。
Oh.
勇ましいな、お嬢ちゃん。やれんのか？今度は不意打ちじゃねえぜ。
Okay, so, I mean, I'm guessing the sword just disappeared and returned to her after she woke up? Calm calculations ran through her mind. Did Wilhelm have definitive proof? If so, his words could ruin her. If Trifa found out, that'd be the end for her. She had to kill him. But did she really have what it took? She could feel his strength crushing her arm. If she ever got in a battle with him, she couldn't do it with half-hearted determination. It would be kill or be killed, through and through. To prove victorious, she'd need unwavering conviction and undulated intent to kill before even starting to consider her strategy. However...
勘違いするなよ。
Crimson eyes glared at Kay just before she could solidify her resolve.
俺は別に責めてるわけじゃねえ。殺しに理屈はいらねえだろ。やりたいからやる。それでいいじゃねえか。
So, you're okay with it? Kay's wrist creaked. The sound echoed through the quiet hallway like a countdown.
つまり殺したくなったら、お前は黒煙卓の者にも容赦しないと。
仲間殺しはてめえの方だろ。
Ouch.
どうだかな。
Kay was looking for a chance. Maybe Wilhelm was too. Neither wanted to miss the right moment. If push came to shove, would she have to give up that arm? If she could activate her creation figment in time.
まあ、俺はまた奪われたってことになるのかね。
一体何の話だ。
The candlestick's flame swayed with a draft. Wait, plot twist. Was he planning on killing Rusalka? Wilhelm's crimson eyes clouded over as he seemed to gaze off into the distance for a moment. Or was that just an illusion caused by the swaying candle's flame? She looked straight at him to confirm it, but his pallid face had already warped back into its usual fiendish smirk.
気にすんな。つまらねえ昔話や。
The strength gripping her wrist suddenly vanished. Kay could tell Wilhelm's intent to kill was turning into something else. She couldn't let her guard down yet, but the core of his bloodlust seemed to have vanished for now. She shook his hand off.
まあ、ともかくだ。今んところシュピーネ覗きゃ女ばっかりくたばってるみたいだしよ。お前さんも気ぃつけな。バビロンが死んだのを忘れるんじゃねえぞ。人形に命を吹き込む人形師はもういねえんだ。今のカインは少しずつ腐っている肉の塊に過ぎねえよ。ほう、いい顔するじゃねえか。劣等同士文字通り腐っても同族ってわけだ。
So Cain does have some sort of relation with Kay. Huh. Siblings? Family?
なんせあの化け物はお前の。
言うな。
Oh! Kay's eyes narrowed. Her blood began boiling in her veins. Willem had infringed on a very personal subject. A killing intent of a completely different nature filled her to the brim.
この場所のスワスチカ貴様の命で開くか
Oh, fuck. Willem bared his white teeth in a beastly smile.
いいね。ちくしょゾクゾクしてきやった。今まで見た中で一番セクシーな顔してるぜ、レオン。そうこなくちゃ面白くねえってもんだ。
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna kink shame, but don't you think that's a little dangerous? The countdown started up again, faster than before. But the moment Kay shook him off,
お揃いで何か相談でも
the impasse was instantly dispelled by a calm voice. Kay turned around to find the tall priest standing there with his usual smile. The candle's light caught in his blonde hair.
生産会芸か
Willem clicked his tongue and called out to him.
クリストフ。
Oh, he put his glasses back on. Chapter 10, Palidamore. I think that's how it's pronounced, Palidamore. I don't know. Or Palidamar, fuck. We returned to the club in the van that Honjo sent for us. Kasumi was out cold for the whole trip. She didn't regain consciousness even after we moved her to a sofa. I brought my ear to her mouth to check her breathing. Though faint, she was breathing peacefully. I pressed two of my fingers against her neck. I could clearly feel her slow but steady pulse.
どう？何か問題ある？
Honjo addressed me as she busied herself with her own task, patching up Shiro's arm.
いや、こっちは平気だ。気絶しているだけだな。
そう。
そっちは？
全然大したことねえよ。
みたいよ。
That clearly wasn't the case, judging from her exasperated tone alone. Well, even a blind man could tell Shiro wasn't fine. Kasumi's breathing suddenly grew rough. She moaned slightly, her face twisted in agony. But that was all. Her furrowed eyebrows gradually loosened up. Her breathing grew steadier again. It seemed she was only having a bad dream. And who could blame her after what she had to live through today? Well, at least we managed to get her out of that crap alive. Alive, but probably damaged, thanks to Rusalkovich.
おい、あんまりぐるぐる巻くなよ。
Oh, grow up! Shiro grumbled as Honjo wrapped a bandage around his arm.
何言ってんの？本来ならベッドにカーベルトでぐるぐる巻きにされる怪我だってのに。
Yeah, for once I'm kind of agreeing with Honjo over here.
だからお前に頼んでんだろ。
限度があるって言ってんの。動くんじゃない。
だからよせって。そんなガッチガチに固められたら動きが取れねえ。
Let it heal, you dipshit!
当たり前だって。へし折れてんだから骨が腕のポッキーンって動かす。
体重支えるわけじゃねえなら筋肉だけで動くもんだろ。
バカったれ。折れた骨が肉突き破ったらそれもできなくなるのよ。
It was so charming how well they got along. Would be what I would have been thinking if the contents of their conversation weren't so messed up. Shiro got those wounds in his battle with Wilhelm. They were more than enough to earn one a direct trip to the hospital, just like Honjo said. The reason he was getting treatment here was because Shiro himself refused to go. Apparently, he couldn't trust someone he didn't know to get anywhere near him now. I mean, I was inclined to agree, given the situation. As for me, I silently looked down, opening and closing my hand. I stroked the spots where I'd been wounded. But there was nothing. No wounds, no damage, nothing. The wounds all over me had completely sealed up by now. Were it not for the tears in my clothes, I probably wouldn't even know where I'd gotten injured. The biggest wound was already nothing but a mere line across my skin. It looked like something left after peeling off an old and already useless scab. And just another few seconds, the last trace of it completely vanished as if it sunk into my skin. I was in perfect shape with that. I was just a little tired and could feel something alien in my right arm. The former was just exhaustion and the latter was merely my imagination. On an Irae had no weight, and that thick blade was a part of me, so it shouldn't have felt like a foreign object.
おい、何してんだよ。大げさだな。
何？まだ痛いの？気弱いやつ。
違うって。
Shiro lifted his left hand and Honjo tilted her head as she tried to fix a splint.
動かしづらいだろうがよ。
あんたね。
Honjo shouted in exasperation as she tried to force the bones of Shiro's left arm back into their place.
そんなバカ言ってると、いい加減この腕使い物にならなくなるよ。
He set the splint and firmly wrapped the bandage around it. Her skill with that was as good as you'd expect from a doctor's daughter. It didn't seem she was in the mood to put up with Shiro's antics today. He swung his unbandaged right arm and grinned like an idiot.
平気だっつーの。まだこっちが残ってんだから。
だからバカだっつってんの。そっちだってひび入ってんだから。あんま調子くれて振り回してっと自然にバキッといっちゃうよ。
そんなやわじゃねえ。
おとなしくしてないと折れる前に私が叩き折ってやるって言ってんの。
おいおい、物騒なやつだな。
Then calm the fuck down and listen to her, jeez. Shiro stopped swinging his right arm as he listened to Honjo's half-joking threats. How was that guy so energetic with 2 injured arms? It was as though he'd lost his sense of pain.
はい、左腕終わりっと。じゃ、次そっちの腕よこしな。
あ、そっとやれよ。
だからそーっとやってるだろ。これ以上ないくらいそーっとやってるっつうの。
Honjo skillfully finished up her handiwork, leaving Shiro's arms neatly bandaged. His left arm in particular looked like a mummy's.
あとこれ熱が出るだろうから熱冷まし。
お。
He swallowed the pill Honjo gave him. He hated doctors, so he must have really trusted her to be so uncharacteristically obedient. No, it wasn't anything as romantic as that. He just didn't want his fighting skills to degrade. Instinct, so to speak. He was covered in wounds all over, but Shiro could indeed fight better than a normal human could. The problem was that even that was not good enough to match those bastards.
ねえ、なんか食べる？
いらねえよ。つうか、ねえだろ、食い物とか。
買ってくるってそんくらい。そっちは？
Instant ramen, please. Honjo looked at me, but I didn't answer. She furrowed her brows.
ダメだよ。なんか腹に入れとかないと持たないよ。
Dude, just take her up on her offer and get something to eat.
何が持たないって？
気持ちが。
Yeah, she was right on the money. Absolutely right. We looked at each other.
焼きうどん、豚肉山盛り、ニンニクビタビタ。
Oh.
俺も。
はいよって焼きうどんにニンニク？まあ男って。
I mean, I think I've had udon before, but I've never... Garlic? I should try that.
理由があるんだよ。たっぷり頼むぜ。
はいはい。
Honjo grumbled as she put on her jacket and left. The only ones left in the room were me, Shiro, and Kasumi, still out cold. How you doing, man? Silence. It wasn't an awkward silence. There were things I wanted to ask, and Shiro was waiting for me to ask them. It was that kind of silence.
なあ、
Shiro was the first to break it.
かすみ、大丈夫か？
ああ、大丈夫だと思う。俺には詳しくわからないけど。
何されたんだよ。
Shiro's question brought back memories of Rusalka's taunts. She said she called back Kasumi's sealed memories. But explaining that to Shiro would mean having to tell him about what Kasumi did, and I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to put it to words.
それもわからない。俺がたどり着いた時にはもう気を失っていたし。
As messed up as it sounds, I'm kind of wondering what Shiro's actual reaction would be.
別に怪我とかしてるわけじゃないんだろ。
あ
だとしたら奴らお得意のオカルトか。確かに俺たちには手出しできねえな。
Shiro didn't sound satisfied with my explanation. But the look in his eyes told me he wouldn't pry any further. The silence returned. But still, I didn't break the ice. I couldn't find the words. I should probably thank him for his assistance. It was a fact that he did help. I also wanted to ask him how he survived Wilhelm's attack. But for how long was I planning to keep on dragging Shiro into this mess? And Honjo, too. No way I can continue this. They both end up dead one of those days. I mean, I already basically sacrificed Shiro today to save Kasumi. And he was all into it himself. He wasn't the type who'd run away just because he was told to, and he'd doubtlessly keep getting into this kind of trouble with or without me. But even so... God damn it. I myself had no idea what I wanted to do with him anymore. I mean, he is capable, but it's just... He may be above, you know, he may be like above normal human level, but he's still human.
な
I finally broke the silence, but all I could say was,
本庄の料理って
え
どうなんだ
Really?
お前どうも何も一回食ったろ。
霞との合作じゃわけわかんねえよ。
ま、あいつよりはうまいんじゃねえの？多分。
His answer was much more half-hearted than I expected.
って言うなよ、こんなこと。つけ上がるからな、あいつ。
つけ上がるんだ。
つけ上がるさ。あれで相当調子者なんだよ。
別にいいだろ、調子者でも。お前もそうだし。
はあ？おいおい、勘弁しろよ。
Shiro was the one to look away from me for once, breaking into a smile.
なんとなく分かった気がするよ。あいつがいるからお前は風船みたいにどっかに飛んでいったりせずに、まだこの町にいるんだな。
あいつもあれでふらふら飛んでいきたい風船だぜ。
でも学校を辞めるほどめちゃくちゃでもない。
分かってねえよ。そんな理由じゃねえんだ。
A thick, dangerous look returned to Shiro's eyes.
俺もあいつもいろいろ考えた挙句、この町ほど面白い町はなかなかねえって思っただけさ。
Huh.
面白い。
物騒って言い換えたっていい。現にここ以外じゃこんな怪我はできやしねえだろ。
普通それは残る理由じゃなくて、町を出ていく理由だ。
Well, Shiro is a fighter, so...
何が普通かなんて関係あるのか？
Fair point. I spontaneously glanced down at my right arm.
関係ないか。
だろ？
The silence then came back with a vengeance. I stood up from the chair after a short while.
どうするんだ？
I finally managed to force out the topic that was really on my mind all this time, putting the time of small talk to an end.
どうするもこうするも。
Though Rusalka had been beaten, the scales hadn't turned in our favor one bit. Heck, they only appeared to be getting worse now that a new swastika had been opened. We had to clarify our current straits. Battles to the death awaited us in the near future. I mean, not like we hadn't been through a few before, but this was where the real bloodbath began. Turning back after this last step was simply not an option. Oh yeah, I thought we had reached the level of intensity, but no! A couple people corrected me. Oh, you thought this is intense? Oh boy, you're not gonna be ready for what's gonna happen in the later. And I was like, oh my god, how much more intense could it get? Christ, this is gonna kill me. Huh. Well, I don't know, I think I've died a few times already. I'm starting to run low on lives over here. Yet Ichiro just smiled the exact same way he always did.
やらなきゃならないことをやる。邪魔する奴がいたらぶっ飛ばす。つうか殺す。 それだけだよ。
で、分かってるだろ。
I showed Shiro my torn clothes and the skin that lay beneath those rips. But the scabs having just peeled off on their own, my skin was like a newborn baby's. This was how things were for me. I'd been through a harsh battle and all I came out with were some torn clothes. But Shiro and Honjo were different. It wasn't hard to picture what would happen if those two kept accompanying me.
だから
But Shiro didn't seem to be affected by my warning in the slightest.
あとは俺に任せろとか、お前らはどっかに隠れとけとか、そういうことを言うわけか？
I mean, to be fair, that is a possibility. But we know you're not gonna listen.
お前が？
He was right. I had no right to say anything like that. First of all, the situation wouldn't change even if I did. The world didn't revolve around us. Hell, it was spitting the hell out of us instead. So I had no right to decide things for others. If Shiro and Honjo wanted to rush into their deaths, that was their prerogative. It wasn't my place to tell them otherwise.
お前はそれでいいかもしれないけど。
エリーのことは気にすんな。俺よりあいつの方が目端は利くくらいだぜ。
死ぬぞ。
その方がマシだね。
He tried to shrug, but only ended up grimacing instead. He probably couldn't move his left shoulder.
第一お前、横から入ってきてあとは全部任せろって調子がいいんだよ。
横から？
ああ、お前が絡んでくる前から俺はこの事件の当事者なんだよ。
Oh yeah, you did mention that you've actually encountered these guys before.
なんでお前が？
Didn't you? I'm pretty sure you did.
やっぱ勘違いしてやがったな。
Shiro pointed straight at my forehead.
俺もエリーもあいつらは歓迎してんのさ。事情があってな。ああいう化け物じみた奴らじゃなきゃ俺らにかけられた呪いは多分解けてくれねえ。もしかすると
And if it weren't for the freaks, we'll probably never be free from our curse? Huh? Jiro's gaze pierced me, focusing on something deep inside me.
この呪いそのものもあいつらの仕業なのかもしれね
呪いってなんだ？
Huh?
え。てめえはダメだ。
Was I supposed to get it just from that?
ダメだってなんだよ。
言ったってわからなかったろうがよ。
言ったっていつ？
ほれ見ろ、お話になんねえ。
Huh?
なんだよそれは。
それにフェアじゃねえだろうが。てめえは山ほど隠し事して俺には全部話せって？
You... Okay, fine, you make a fair point. Jerk. He had a point, but...
まあ相変わらずお前は難しく考えすぎなんだって。
Kinda become a force of habit, hasn't it? Shiro's mouth widened, but he just laughed.
気に入った女がいたら抱く。邪魔する奴がいたら締める。まだ突っかかってくるようなら殺す。
Okay.
それでいいじゃんか。な？
A bit to the brutal of a point, but okay. If that were all, then it really would be a load off my mind. At the very least, Shiro's logic beat mine in this case. Probably. However...
勝手に死ぬなよ。
約束はできね
お前な。
え。お互い好き勝手にし合ってるだけだ。俺は藤井蓮のオプションじゃねえ。まあまずはあいつらにそれを教え込んでやらねえとだがよ。
Yeah, you're not expendable at all. And I actually mean that. You've been a help. You've been helping. Shiro gripped his right hand to make sure it was still working. Nothing I said could stop him. Then there was but one thing I could do.
俺も好きにやるぞ。
そうしろって言ってんだろ。
It was up to me to stop him from dying. I lacked the power to protect everyone, and so that was the best I could promise him. So, continuously working as a tag team. Onjo soon returned and made a big pile of fried udon. We all silently slurped it down. Shiro could only use one arm, but that didn't impede his ability to use chopsticks at all. I'd never be able to mimic that if I was in the state he was. Did he have no sense of pain or something? We keep bringing that up.
これなんか麺の太さが違わねえか。
贅沢言わないでよ。コンビニなんだから。うどんの玉なんてそんなたくさん置いてるわけないでしょ。半分くらいはカップうどん。
Okay.
いらねえ創作料理のアイディア発揮しやがって。なんか食いにくいぜこれ。彩りもいまいちだしよ。鰹節と紅生姜はなかったのか？
Oof, now I'm in the mood for tuna!
注文の多い男ね。
Ooh, salmon patties, that sounds good.
だってお前、焼きうどんって言ったら定番。
She's gonna slap you.
うまい。
Oh. I finished up my bowl and got seconds from the large plate in the middle.
お、
あら？
I felt like I could wolf down the entire thing on my own. Apparently, I hadn't realized just how hungry I was.
おいおい、全部食うつもりかよ。
気持ちいい食べっぷりね。作った方も嬉しくなっちゃうわ。
Thank you.
いや、うまいよ、ほんと。
I realized I was actually smiling. It was just as Honjo said. Filling my stomach really did put me back in the mood. The gloom that had been crushing me before had flown off like a helium balloon. So I would savor every bite, not just of this fried udon, but of every meal to come. I didn't know which one would be my last after all.
で、お前はどうするつもりなんだって？
俺か？
ああ、お前。
The first thing I had to do was make my standpoint clear. I hesitated, not because I didn't know what to say, but because I didn't want to kill the small mood our hearty meal had brought forth. But it was completely pointless of me to do that. The current situation wouldn't change no matter how I tried to sugarcoat things. So I decided to be as blunt as possible. Besides, it wasn't like I could hide anything from Shiro for long. No, definitely not. He'll pry and pry and pry until you finally just give up and, just tell him what he wants to hear.
シビアな話するぞ。いいよな。
いちいち前置きすんなって言えよ。
結論から言って、俺たちは負け続けてる。今回も前回のクラブの時もな。こないだからずっと連中のペースだ。その原因は。
Onjo stopped eating, while Shiro nonetheless continued at his own pace.
続けろよ。
I could tell I had their full attention.
その原因は、俺たちがいつも後手後手に回ってきたからだ。どうしても攻撃側に立てない。だから勝てないわけだ。負けか引き分けしかない。
Oh yeah, we've always been on the defensive, haven't we?
でもさ、
Onjo pointed her chopsticks at me.
学校じゃルサルカを倒したんでしょ？一本返せた。これで連敗脱出って言っちゃダメなわけ？
It was infighting that helped us win.
ああ、勝ちじゃないな。愛子でもない。
だな。
どうして？
簡単だ。あの女は勝ち負けを左右する条件じゃねえのさ。何本シュート打ったって枠に入ってくれなきゃ得点にはなんねえってこった。
Ah, right.
でも
Though it was hard with only one hand, Shiro served himself seconds.
連中の企みは全然止まってない。むしろ奴らのペースで進行してる。連中の戦力も全然そげてない。学校でだって、もしあのまま奴らが戦い続けてたら、俺らは今頃こんな風に焼きうどん食えてなんかいない。お前もな、シロ。
ま、そうだろうな。生きててよかったってやつか。あ？こりゃニンニク効いてんな。注文通りだ。
Onjo frowned at Shiro.
もう能天気なんだから。
Maybe him having mush for brains is why he doesn't feel any pain, apparently.
結局、学校のスワスチカも完成しちまった。俺たちが守りきれなかったってことだ。選手は一人減らしたけど、得点は向こうに入った。それが今の現状だ。
Yeah.
連中の目的は8カ所のスワスチカを開くことだからな。そのために誰が死のうと構わねえってことだろ。それをやられたら連中の勝ちが確定、俺らは負けってことになる。
8箇所すべて完成させるとどうなるのかな。
Lord Hydric. Honjo sounded almost like she wanted to try opening them herself.
連中のボスと幹部クラスが復活するらしい。ボスはシローも見たろ。あれはどうにもなんねえよ。出てきたら終わりだ。幹部もな。
Saying it again just hammered in how harsh reality was. Honjo and I couldn't say a thing. However,
だが考えようだぜ。俺らの方が有利とも言える。
ん？
どうして？
The idiot began to explain.
現状がどうこうじゃなくて、もともと俺らの方が有利なゲームなんだよ、こいつは。
どこがだよ。
We were up against a legion of monsters. The whole thing was completely one-sided. I'd have to be stupidly optimistic to see an advantage on our side.
プレイヤーの技量は置いとくぜ。そいつはルールと関係ねえ。残りあと4回あるんだろ。で、俺らはそのどこかで一勝すりゃいい。そうすりゃ今までのやつらの得点は全部パーだ。違うか？
Huh.
呆れた。相変わらずのお天気なんだから。
Honjo frowned again, but her tone was considerably different. There was a twinge of hope in it. But I wasn't done going over just how harsh the situation was.
言うのは簡単だけどな。まずその最初に置いておいたプレイヤーの技量ってのが段違いなんだよ。
Yes, but you were close to unlocking another power.
しかも俺たちは守備側で、さらに言えばステージが選べない。
前もって準備なんてこともできないわけか。
だから連中にとって俺たちはゴール前のほんの障害物に過ぎないってわけさ。対する俺たちは連中そのものがゴールだ。俺たちはどこまでも後手に回る。連中は好きな場所を好きな時間に体勢を整えてから好きに攻められる。失敗したら撤収するだけだ。さっきみたいに。
そこだ。
Shiro pointed straight at my forehead.
やつら、なんで撤退した？
Because the swastika opened.
そりゃルサルカが死んだから。
I gave quite a vapid answer, if I do say so myself. Shiro had turned into the leader of this conversation before I'd even realized it.
仲間が死んだらなんで撤退だ？あそこはもう一歩踏み込んでこっちの数を減らさないのか？
Oh. That's right, isn't it? Whenever a swastika opens, their stigmata activates and kind of weakens them? Or they have no wait, they have to go somewhere every time that a swastika opens.
そんなことされてたらお前死んでただろ。
俺の都合はこの際関係ねえよ。むしろこっちの不都合は向こうの好都合だ。なのになんで俺は生きてる？
Because they retreated after the swastika opened.
それは
安全策なんだよ、その方が。
What?
こっちの数を減らさないのが向こうの有利ってこと？
数ね。もともとあいつらにとっちゃこっちの陣営の数はただ一人。レン、てめえだけだ。
なるほどな。
It was a bitter pill for Shiro to swallow, but our enemies didn't consider either him or Honjo a threat. Indeed, I was the only one they felt they had to be careful with. That made sense.
だから俺をどうしようと？相手にとっては数は増えもしなけりゃ減りもしねえのさ。
Huh.
なんかそれムカつくわね。
I know, right?
まったくだ。だがひっくり返してやるにはそれくらいでちょうどいい。
Shiro made a sinister smile.
さっき安全策って言ったよな。あそこであの白髪野郎が残ってるよりも撤退した方がずっと相手にとっては有利になるんだよ。考えてみろ。
Huh? I didn't see what he was getting at. Wilhelm's retreat was beneficial for them how?
あそこであの野郎が下がれば 少なくとも学園であいつが死ぬ可能性はゼロになる。
死ぬ可能性って？
向こうの大将、それが神父だかナチだかは知らねえが、どっちにしろ指示を出している奴が恐れてるのは、すでにスワスチカが開いた場所で手駒が死ぬことさ。
Oh. I think I get what you're aiming at here.
ああ。
How I got it? It was something I myself had thought when I talked to Sakurai. A swastika opened when one of them died in an area that had one. If we were to ignore the difference in skill levels between us like Shiro suggested earlier, then they can strategically achieve their own goals through the defeat of their own troops. But the death of a member at a place where a swastika had already been opened would be meaningless. That was probably the only thing that we could count as a decisive victory on our part. But if that was the case...
随分過大評価されてるみたいだな。
I'd have to kill two of them more or less at the same time to actually shift the scales to our favor. Like taking the school today as an example. I would have to catch and kill Wilhelm right after Rusalka died.
まったくだ。こんな穴蔵で勝手に追い詰められてる気になって頭抱えてるとは思うめえよ。
こんな穴蔵で悪かったわね。
It's fine.
すっかりニンニク臭くなっちまったしね。
Whose fault is that?
この
Honjo tried to kick him in the shin, but Shiro blocked it with his shoe.
さて、だったらどうするかだ。
決まってる。
I wasn't so dim as to not have figured it out by this point.
次の交戦で2人倒す。
だな。もうスワスチカが開いてるってとこへ相手を引きずり出すことができない以上、まあそうなるだろう。
Shiro nodded and started slurping his fried udon again.
それができる前に、もし幹部クラスが復活するってことになったら、そこで試合終了ね。
で、だよ。
Oh, sorry. Shiro continued with his mouth full of noodles.
具体的にどうするかだ。
ああ。スワスチカはもう5つ完成してる。全部で8つ。残りは3つだ。
I unconsciously stroked my neck scar. I felt as though it started hurting more when I remembered it. I wonder if it was because I had gained experience in my fight with Rusalka, but I felt like I could sense the number of open swastikas, like Sakurai said she could. The fourth swastika had already been opened through one of those bastards' deaths without my knowledge. Through process of elimination, I guessed that would have been Sister Lisa. She wasn't at school, yet Kane was. I couldn't think of any other reason for why the real puppet master would have been absent otherwise. But if that were true, then how had she died? I could only imagine that she'd been murdered, but by whom? I thought about it, but decided to put it aside once I couldn't come up with an answer. I imagined her death would have affected Himuro pretty badly. But as I had said, I was presently more focused on getting the drop on one of them at the swastika spots.
ともかく俺たちはその3カ所からどこか1カ所選んでそこで待機する。他は捨ててもいい。
Okay, so the park maybe?
順番は違うかもしれないけど、連中は必ずやってくる。俺たちはそこを邪魔する。
待ち伏せってわけか。なるほど。それならこっちが守りながら攻めに回れるもんな。いいんじゃないか？
ああ。でも問題が一つある。
なんだよ、問題って。
5つ開いてんのは分かってるけど、そのうちの1つが不明なんだよ。
The ones I knew had been opened for sure were the ones at the park, the club, the museum, and school. That left the hospital, amusement park, tower, and church. One of those had already been opened, but I didn't know which one.
桜井の話じゃ、スワスチカが開くと、まっとうなやつは立ち入れないくらい汚染されるらしいんだけどな。ここのホールがそうなってるみたいに。
教会はともかく他の場所でそんな話は聞かねえよなあ。
そうね。客足が途絶えてるとかはないみたいだけど。
So the swastika is at the church then.
じゃあ教会か？
ちげえだろ。誰があそこで死ぬんだよ。
確かにそうだ
5 swastikas had definitely been opened. I could feel it. Maybe we'd know once we checked the place out directly. It looked like our only choice was to hit all those suspicious spots. Once I finished explaining that,
じゃあここから一番近いのはどこだ？
ここからだと行きやすさなら展望タワーじゃない？
alright. We got our spot then. The observation tower. A tourist spot that also functioned as a radio tower. It was the tallest building in the city, and I had also recently visited with Kasumi and Marie. I shivered when I imagined what would have happened if we'd been attacked then.
どうするの？見に行ってみる？タワー。
Honjo, I directed her question at Shiro, but he just glanced at me without answering. It looked like he was eagerly awaiting what decision I'd make. He'd probably already set his heart on going to the tower, but was trying to make me say it instead. Oh, probably. I nodded. It was a bit frustrating, but my excitement that we'd be the first to strike this time was greater.
行こう。これからすぐ。
Yeah.
よし行こうぜ。腹ごなしの散歩にはちょうどいい。
Yep.
そうね。ちょうどよかったんじゃ。途中にスーパーあるから、鰹節と紅生姜買い置きしておきなさいよ。
だよね、荷物なよ。お前が拗ねたって可愛げねえんだから。
ほらほら、ひどい言い草じゃない。ねえ、レン君。
Shiro and Honjo were acting the same as always. It almost seemed like they were genuinely thinking of this as a mere walk. But this was no picnic. We weren't going up to the radio tower as part of some field trip. If Honjo's prediction was correct, those bastards would be showing up at those spots sooner or later. Once we crossed paths, it would mean battle. One to the death most likely. Yeah. I knew that. So did Honjo and so did Shiro and Honjo. Yet they acted the same as always. I doubted anything I said could stop them. Not like I had any intention of doing so anymore, now that it had come to this.
じゃ、速攻で出ようぜ。善は急ぐだ。ついでの買い物、他に何かあるか？
ついでって、私も行くけど？
いや、お前は霞を見ててやれ。
大丈夫でしょ、ここなら。もう開いたスワスチカにあいつらが近づくはずないし。
Honjo, what if she wakes up? If Shiro was correct, then those bastards would probably do their damnedest to avoid any open swastikas. On the off chance they got into a fight with us at one of them and lost, it would be just a waste of resources for them. In that sense, this place was the safest there was. But if that were true...
本庄も残れ。ここの方が安全だ。
天君までバカなこと言わないでよ。そういうことはあっちの体ボロボロにしてるやつに言うべきでしょ。
おいおい、今度はこっちに矛先かよ。
She was right. I nearly forgotten. Oshiro should have been tied to a bed with wounds like that.
シロ、お前もここで霞を。
行こうぜ、エリー。自分の面倒は自分で見ろよ。
今さら。
Wait, what?
お前らな。
多数決で決める？レン君が一人で行くべきか。
ここまで俺らに頼っておいて、一番美味しいとこ独り占めってその根性は感心しねえぜ。
And you've got balls of steel to take on a vampire that's infinitely stronger than you are. The two of them had suddenly turned on me at once. They were partners, birds of a feather. They're better halves. They truly were compatible in every kind of way. But I approached the sofa and looked down on Kasumi as she slept. Her breathing was peaceful. The agony that had stricken her face before was all gone. It looked like she was going to be okay. If we locked the door, no one would think of entering this place.
誰か一人見張りに残すなら、お前って手もあるんだぜ。
バカ言うな。行くぞ。
おう。
惚れてる腕、いちいち振り上げるんじゃないの、バカ。
We left, making sure to firmly lock the door behind us.
お揃いで何か相談でも？
Oh. A calm voice, not high or low, and neither oppressive nor soothing, rang out. His voice had the power to dispel the rising hostility between the man and the woman that, at this point, threatened to pass the boiling point and erupt into an all-out battle to the death. What ran through the two of them was no mere sound, but the power of presence itself. It was as though the man had been sparkling in gold, embracing the deep darkness of the corridor. Neither Wilhelm nor Kay had felt anything like that from him before, and as such, it almost instantly brushed aside their fighting spirit. Wilhelm's voice showed no hint of fellowship. However, the unfettered bloodlust that had been impregnating his eyes completely vanished as Wilhelm's shoulders trembled from laughter.
どうかなさいましたか?
She cautiously gave Wilhelm a side glance. She couldn't let her guard down with that embodiment of pure malice. It wouldn't be all that surprising if he were to blab about how she'd killed Rusalka. However,
なんでもねえよ、クリストフ。あんまりにものどかで退屈だからよ。俺たちで一つ模擬戦でも追っ始めようかと思ってただけさ。
he put his glasses back on. Surprisingly, Wilhelm chose to keep her secret to himself. Perhaps he'd been honest when he said he couldn't care less about any team killing.
ほう、随分と余裕が終わりなのですね。マレウスを失ったばかりだというのに。
Yeah.
ありゃ、あのズベが間抜けだったのさ。なあ、レオン。
He looked away from his malicious eyes. If she peered into that crimson abyss, all that awaited her was madness. She was now all too aware of that.
それはそうと、レオンハルト。
はい。
カインを封印したようですね。
Rifa's question was a test to confirm where she stood. She could not let him notice her agitation and above all, true goal.
カインは暴走し始めています。バビロンが自戒して以来。
Lisa had died because her lifespan had run out. At least, that was how they'd explained it to her. It wasn't unreasonable. Even though she had an unaging body and was nearly immortal, what mattered most was the state of the soul. When human souls existed for almost a century, they would begin seeking death. That was how they were designed, and this principle was not to be taken lightly. So it could be said that Lisa, who was over 90 years old, was at a critical period. What's more, she didn't shed her humanity to the extent others did, and didn't possess Rusalka's obsession with survival to hold off for hundreds of years. Her role had been to open the third swastika. There was a high possibility that succeeding in that had put her at ease. The timing seemed a bit too coincidental, but Kay did not feel like overthinking the matter. However, Wilhelm chuckled as if he was watching some lowbrow comedy. Kay completely ignored him.
カインはコントロールを失っています。しかも、その後の対応がよくありませんでした。
マレウスですか?
はい。
That name no longer agitated her.
彼女のやり方は、カインの肉体に無理を強いていました。今の彼は、もういつ砕けてもおかしくない。つまり、効率を考えてのことです。カインの戦力劣化を最小限にとどめるためにも、稼働時間は抑えておくのが寛容かと。
だとしてもです。
Uh-oh! Not a happy face! The substitute commander raised a finger.
すぐ封印を解除してください。これはカインが必要な指令なのです。
Rifa spoke with utmost indifference. Kay was about to protest, but swallowed her words before they could leave her mouth.
お忘れですか? これはハイドリヒ教の決定ですよ。あの方はおっしゃいました。カインを放てと。
それは。
Reinhard Heydrich, the harbinger of beguiling light, number 1 of the Obsidian Round Table, leader of the Longinus Dryzen Orden. Just rolls off that entire title just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? The very mention of his name prevented any attempts at rebuttal.
それに、これは通過儀礼なのですよ。レオンハルト。
通過儀礼。
Rifa ignored her question and continued.
あなたの黒煙卓への忠誠心を図るためのね。入団経緯の特殊性を考えれば、 このような試験も致し方ないと考えてください。
Jesus, that freaking face. The image of the laughing red-haired witch flashed through Kay's mind for a moment and vanished.
承知しましたゲイか
She swallowed her words and bowed her head. She had no other choice.
よろしく頼みましたよ。
必ず
Kay returned his thanks and disappeared into the darkness of the hallway, toward the ice room where Kane slept. Once he could no longer see her, Tarifa's glasses turned to the ivory demon. And that's where we are going to end it for now. Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm starting to run out of save spots. Fuck. Jesus. Okay, so... Kane is starting to fall apart, and Sakurai is not too happy about that. And now we are on the search for these swastikas, it would seem. Or at least a possibility of where the other swastikas are. Now, I wonder, it says he turned to the ivory demon, so I wonder what Kristoff has to say to Wilhelm. And something else kind of bothered me a little bit earlier. Now, Ren said that there was something foreign in his arm. And he explicitly brought that up, how Marie shouldn't feel foreign. So that's making me wonder what the hell is going on. Also, still no idea what happened to Sakurai's sword. Did it just fucking evaporate and return to Sakurai? Because it made mention that he walked off the roof with not only Kasumi, but also Sakurai's sword in his hand. It made specific mention of that. So am I just to assume that the sword just vanished and returned to Sakurai? I don't know. That's just one of those things that's kind of bugging me a little bit here. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out a little bit more in the next episode. Holy shit. This is okay. I'm starting to understand what people were talking about this being a very particularly long novel. I see what you guys see. I see what you mean. And there's multiple routes. Oh god. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and, well, I'm still disappointed in myself with what I said, but whatever. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hello there, everybody, SkydivingQuagga here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that Nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.